Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is the press. We're reaching you live from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now we'll go straight to the first leg of our analysis for this morning, as we've got Comrade Anselem Eragbe, who is Labour Party's national youth leader. Great to have you on the show today again.
My pleasure, always.
It's good to have you on the show
Annabel.
today, and happy independence.
Happy independence. All right, so viewers, our phone lines are open. You can call in to make your contributions or ask your questions. Remember, 1 minute to every caller. All right, let's quickly see how we can manage our time. And with all that is happening with the Labour Party, what exactly, how far so far? It's been a long time coming. It's been more like a strenuous and long journey. But a few days ago, I saw that Supreme Court has affirmed Abure, and then at another section again, I saw that note that it was given to Lamidi Apapa. So help us demystify all of this misconception so that Nigerians will understand who is Labour Party's national chairman as of today.
Yeah, thank you, Annabel. Quickly, without meaning to miss words, the national chairman of the Labour Party in Nigeria is Alhaji Lamidi Apapa. Now, let me quickly dispel the rumor. First and foremost, I want to say it's highly unfortunate that the Labour Party under the faction of Abure have to misinform the entire world with a very high volume of lies, more so against a Supreme Court judgment. Now, what is the issue? Now, the Federal High Court Owerri, there was a matter where Abure was restrained on the 5th of April, 2023. Now, that restraining order stopped him from carrying out any further activities. 4 of them were restrained. I think the world needs to understand this clearly. The FCT High Court restrained Julius Abure, the then National Chairman, Umar Farouk Ibrahim, then National Secretary, Ojukwu Clement, then National Organizing Secretary, Oluchi Okpara, then National Treasurer. That document is in evidence. Now, that restraining order was to the effect that they should stop parading themselves as National Chairman and officials of the Labour Party in Nigeria. On the 6th of April, a day after the National Working Committee members of the Labour Party met in the party's headquarters and appointed Alhaji Lamidi Apapa, the then Deputy National Chairman of Labour Party. So the world needs to know that we were elected in a convention in Akwaga on the 9th and 10th of June 2019. Alhaji Lamidi Apapa was elected as the Deputy National Chairman, South, of the party. Maria Lebeke was elected as the Deputy National Chairman, North, of the party. Those were the 2 deputies. I was elected as National Youth Leader, Abure as National Secretary. A. Salam Meso, rest in peace, Baraden Paiko as National Chairman, who passed on the 19th of December 2020. And immediately that happened, on the 20th, after I went for the burial and came back on the 19th, on the 20th, we had a Zoom conference where Maria Lebeke was elevated to the position of the acting national chairman, December 20, 2020. Now, March 20th and 2021, were in Benin, ideally to rectify Alhaji Lamidi Apapa, who would have been the substantive chairman. But a lot of manipulation took place. Abure, who was the then national secretary from nowhere, manipulated the entire process and emerged as the national chairman.
Okay.
So I'm telling the world to say there are no provisions in the Labour Party constitutions that permitted the national secretary to take leadership of the Labour Party. Okay. So the first point I'm making with this, the first conspiracy started when Abure supplanted Alhaji Lamidi Apapa on the 21st of March 2021 in Benin. Did
you say supplanted?
Yeah, authoritatively. Because when you go through the Labour Party constitution, there is no provision of law that says the party national secretary can assume the position of acting chairman or become national chairman.
But so just to prevent us from delving into issues that had already been discussed prior to the elections, you just talked about the fact that Abure played the first one by trumping Lamidi Apapa to become to take charge of the party. It was the same Abure that conducted the primary elections that brought in Peter Obi as the flag bearer of the party, which was supported by by all members of the party, including yourself, till some point when it went all south. So can you strike a balance between these two scenarios? Now,
quickly, like I said, whatever I say here can be verified, straight and clear. Now, like I said, from the onset of Abure's emergence, there has been an illegality. So, and it is this fight against this illegality that eventually brought about some of the things you are seeing today. So,
at that point, now, did you speak up against the illegality,
or
did you just wait till push came to shove before you started speaking?
So certainly, like we have said, because these processes were manipulated.
Okay,
it's on record. Now, Abure manipulated the entire processes, probably ahead of this Obi's coming, whatever. But the reality is there is no provision of law that permitted Abure to become chairman. The excuse at the time, because he created a lot of racket within the folds of the NWC leadership. Maybe on a different day, all of us can bring ourselves to the public glare and let everybody tell the role they played in Abure's emergence, illegal emergence in the first instance.
Which you among, is that what
That's
you're
what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, the entire NWC members. A day is coming where we have to tell our story so that the world will know exactly what these issues are all about. But the first point I've made is to say, first and foremost, Abure, the law, the Labour Party constitution does not provide for ascension of leadership for the national secretary, which Abure occupied as at the time Anselem died. And as so how Abure supplanted using other members of the NWC in Benin on 21st of March to supplant Alhaji Lamidi Apapa, who ordinarily would have been the national chairman. So that is one instance. The instance of the Peter Obi coming to Labour Party, of course, as at that point, the entire House unanimously agreed to give the ticket to Peter Obi.
Okay.
So that will rest that issue of Peter Obi. Like some of us were aspiring to that position, but we all agreed to step down. And Peter Obi eventually emerged winner. That's another matter. We don't have issues with that. Now, quickly, Alhaji Lamidi Apapa is the acting. The word acting is because Abure agreed now, irrespective of the illegality, was restrained on the 5th of April. And by virtue of the hierarchy of the Labour Party constitution, Alhaji Lamidi Apapa became the most ranking amongst us. Remember then, I was on illegal suspension.
Okay.
Remember, it was on that day of the 6th that myself was reinstated by the NWC.
Okay.
The then acting National Publicity Secretary, Eragbe, was on suspension himself. I've shared that document with you again. You can go through those documents. They are signed and submitted to INEC. Now, Abure had no business from on the 5th of April when the FCT, what is the issue with the FCT High Court? Abure, through illegal processes, removed the name of some of our candidates. Amongst them, key was Comrade Oko Eze Splendor, the governorship candidate of Ebonyi State. Abure forged a withdrawal letter using forged signature, forged FCT High Court affidavit, TSA payment receipt, seal.
Okay, I recall
all of these details. I've shared those documents. They are in evidence.
We've had that conversation.
To remove this candidate who emerged through a lawful process from the INEC portal and substituted him with another person whom they had collected over 400 million from. Now, when this happened, that young man went to court. High Court, Appeal Court, Supreme Court, and won all his cases. But as I'm talking to you up to date, Abure still refused to obey Supreme Court judgment. They never uploaded that guy's name in the INEC portal.
All right, we'll continue. Let's
now,
quickly
arising from there to come.
Let's quickly take this call before we go ahead. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, beautiful morning to you, Annabel. Beautiful morning to you, Mr. Francis, and the comrade. Good morning. You are on SMB from Lagos.
SMB from Lagos. Happy Independence to you.
Happy Independence Day, comrade. Happy Independence Day, Mr. Francis. Happy Independence Day. As usual, let me quickly appreciate KAFTAN TV for giving us this ample opportunity to say our mind. Thank you very much. Even though you are into politics now, but let me quickly ask one or two questions to the comrades. Mr. Comrade, I always follow your conversation, not only in KAFTAN TV, and then I so much cherish your passion about politics and the nation at large. I want to ask you this question. I don't want to go deeper into politics. You see, the Labour Party are in crisis also. the NNPP are in crisis. So also the ruling party, they were agreed members. So you see, maybe the crisis will not come out uply, but they are on crisis. Likewise, the giant opposition party. It means all the political parties are into one or two crises. The issue of internal democracy, issue of agreed members, and so on and so on, selfish interests, and so on and so forth. As a young politician who means to help nation development, who means to help to give his own quarter of contribution to build his nation, will you recommend independent candidacy? That's the question I want to ask. Thank you very much. I remain SND from Kano. I'm from Lagos.
SND from Lagos. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure hearing from you. Please answer that question before we go ahead.
Quickly, I personally will recommend independent candidacy, but to the extent that the laws of the country, Nigeria, will amend the constitution to reflect such. Because we have seen, notwithstanding, we have seen the bottleneck and challenges associated with party politics, notwithstanding. Because there are persons that have capacity to run, but there are many bottlenecks. For instance, look at what we are going through in Labour Party. It has become almost impossible for Abure and his team to obey just a simple law as much as a restraining order from a valid court. And so this evidence, I mean, points to the fact that, with respect to the caller, for me, I will be an advocate for independent candidacy so that some of these issues can be streamlined. So it will be a welcome development to the extent that the laws of the country will truly make it, permit it.
All right, let's take this next call before we go ahead. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Elder Zion from Jos.
Good morning. How was your weekend?
Very well, thank you, sir.
Under the celebrations.
Very well, thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I want to comment on the President's address yesterday. The promises he made. Even though Labour called it a promissory note, it's one thing to make a promise and another thing to fulfill your promise. You see, we have been saying this time without a number. The so-called palliatives being given to people. And it's just to enrich the elite. Like now, the Labour, they're only fighting for themselves. They're fighting for less than 2% of Nigerian population. The workers. Look what the president said. That the 35,000 naira extra money is for the federal workers. What of the states? What of the local government workers? What of some of us
Private.
who are not working, who find the majority of the population? You see, all these things are just hazards. They cannot solve our problem.
All right.
Let government mop up all this money being wasted, falling into the pockets of the elites.
All right.
Let them mop it up and they revive the like today in Jos, the private news marketers, fuel stations, they're not, they tell you they don't have fuel. In Jos, everywhere you go, there's no fuel because anticipating increment.
All right, so that's Zion.
So, please, 1 minute, half minute. Okay, God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Elder Zion. Your contribution is very well taken. All right, let's go back to Labour Party. Now, I hear you say that you stated that the all that brought forth I beg your pardon, that brought forth Abure, Julius Abure, it was some illegality which you were also a part of, which you agreed. So when you start building a lie, it will definitely continue to a lie. It will always keep growing up. And if what he started with illegality, lies, and then now you're complaining that he has brought forth so much illegality in the process and all. At what point did you now have this disconnect and these issues coming up? If you agreed to bring him in an illegal way, that's one on the side. Two questions, and I'd like you to unbundle them in one break before we let you go. Now that's one on the side, but you've not answered that question with regards to, as at this moment, who is Labour Party's national chairman? Because we see different names on social media.
Okay, and just to add to it, in case you're going to say Lamidi Apapa is the national is the chairman of the party, why was Abure representing the party during the judgment at the tribunal?
It's okay. Thank you. I think it's important we always learn to act within the limit of the provisions of law. Authoritatively, Alhaji Lamidi Apapa is the acting national chairman of Labour Party in Nigeria with effect from the 5th of April 2023 till this hour. The court maintained that Abure and 3 others should not parade themselves, but Abure had continued to parading himself. But
we've always seen him with your presidential candidate. You see, is he parading himself?
Now, like I said, of course, it's an open secret that His Excellency Peter Obi is not comfortable with the person of Alhaji Lamidi Apapa. That's a personal thing. It has nothing to do with the provisions of law.
Even though you all agreed to make him your presidential candidate?
The world saw what happened to some of us at the venue of the tribunal. How we were attacked, how we were embarrassed. The world saw it while we were playing our own constitutional role as party officials. We went for that. You saw what happened. Alhaji Lamidi Apapa, myself and a few other persons will have been killed. Ordinarily, that day, playing our roles as party officials, legitimate officials of the Labour Party. So what I'm saying is, there is no point imposing Alhaji Lamidi Apapa on Peter Obi in public spaces. But what Peter Obi has done consistently is wrong. And I'm saying it to him today. We have said this to him severally. Stop parading yourself with Abure. We have to absorb Peter Obi from being suspended earlier in our convention. Why? Because on the 18th of April, he had joined Abure to carry out an illegal net meeting in Asaba, which was a contempt of the subsisting FCT High Court order that restrained Julius Abure. This same Abure, on the 15th of April, went to Imo, Kogi, Bayelsa, conducted gubernatorial primaries. Now, the Federal High Court Owerri ruled, I've just shared that with you. Now, that ruling was on the strength of 2 issues. The issue of local standing and jurisdiction. The court maintained that Abure had no business doing Labour Party's activity as at the 15th of April, when he conducted the primaries that brought in Achonu in Imo and others. And the court held, is in the judgment, page 31 here.
In the news.
And the court maintained that the valid primary of Labour Party by law is the one conducted on the 16th of April 2023 by the acting national chairman of the Labour Party.
Okay, just in 1 minute.
Alhaji Lamidi Apapa.
In 1 minute before our time is far spent right now. If Alhaji Apapa is the national chairman recognized by the law, by the national chairman of the Labour Party has a petition at the tribunal. The Labour Party has a national chairman. When the judgment was delivered, Alhaji Lamidi Apapa said he is okay with the decision of the tribunal. The decision that went against
your party,
his party. Can you shed more light on it?
Now, let me say this quickly. Notwithstanding that a lot of statements are being branded out there, Alhaji Lamidi Apapa has not made any statement up to date. Yeah, the acting national publicity secretary may have made so many statements notwithstanding, but I'm telling you, Alhaji Lamidi Apapa has not made any statement.
So are you saying that the publicity secretary is the one making statements on behalf of your chairman?
Excuse me, it is the duty of the publicity secretary ordinarily to make statements.
Most definitely.
That is his constitutional role.
Statements approved by
the chairman.
I am coming. Like I said, it's because we need to put the issue in clear perspective. Now, that's not to say Alhaji Lamidi Apapa does not give authorization for statements to be made. Because if the acting professor make statement on our behalf, he has done that, and we take responsibility as a political party. But the point I'm making with that statement I've just made here is to say, now the issue of what happened in the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, I mean, the judgment was quite obvious and clear. What were the issues? The court ruled A, B, C, D. We had said, I've said it here severally, we have said we had a mandate that was stolen. I came here before the judgment was unveiled to say, even though I'm one of those who have said repeatedly that we won that election, I said here and every other place in public space to say, we are not prepared to reclaim that victory because why? The items we needed to reclaim the victory, we had not harnessed them. And it played out in the Presidential Election Tribunal, where the court held that we could not actually provide those evidences. So that is the issue.
All right.
So it is not what Lamidi Apapa said or did not say. It is what we as a party under Abure's leadership then did not do that has translated to the loss we had in the Presidential Election Tribunal. So now there is a matter in the Supreme Court, in the tribunal. The question is, do we not have what it takes to reverse the decision of the appeal court in that judgment? For the much I know, for now, it's still no. But until the Supreme Court again brings out that judgment, now the world will not understand what people like us have said severally. So quickly on the issue of, because I don't know how much time we have, let me say
we have less than 1 minute.
Let me say this now. The Abure faction, first and foremost, Achonu is not a candidate of the Labour Party
in Imo State.
In Imo State,
okay.
Emphatically, because the Federal High Court, Owerri, Court of Appeal, Owerri City in Abuja ruled on those two grounds: the issue of jurisdiction or local standing, and the issue of the date of primaries, and who is the authentic leadership of the Labour Party. So Alhaji Lamidi Apapa is the national chairman of the Labour Party in acting capacity. 1. 2. The primaries for Imo, Kogi, Bayelsa for Labour Party for the 11 November 2023 elections are the ones that were done on the 16th of April as held by the court, ratified by the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court on the 11th of September 2023, the appeal of Achonu, because what is the issue? Achonu never filed a case, Senator Achonu. He only applied as a joinder after Ukegbu had won the matter in the High Court, when Basil appealed that victory in the Court of Appeal. Achonu applied to join, and his joinder was dismissed for want of time. So again, he proceeded to Supreme Court, and the court again dismissed. I've shared that with you. Definitely. Now, on the 28th of September, just a few days ago, the Supreme Court dismissed Basil's appeal against that victory of Ukegbu in Imo State. So in summary, all the lies you have seen on television, on social spaces, are all lies. That's another matter we are going to take up after, probably from this week. We are going to seek security and legal interpretation so that all of this nonsense that have taken part, particularly with Abure, should stop.
All right, Comrade Anselem, so much to talk about, because you didn't actually answer my question with regards to illegality, but then we'll have other time to have this discussion with you and probably with your national chairman. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for coming.
All right, viewers, we're going to a quick break, and when we return, we'll return to discuss on Nigeria matters, the anniversary speech by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, why exactly it's causing loads and loads of reactions. That's what would kickstart from after this time out. Join us again.